person who is looking, you're probably already very bored. But I will start the journey now. Good. Just pulled up. So on the right side, you should see a text box where you can ask all the questions all along. So I have my little script with me. And I just want to say this is my first time. I hope you can hear me and all that stuff. So bear with me. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to how to live a happy and fulfilled life without the stress and self-doubt. Today we will go through a short introduction, of course. I will tell you about my number one secret to live a happy life, and I will tell you about my 4 truths I discovered along my own journey. And I have a bonus for you at the end, and they will be able to ask questions if the chat is working. So how does that sound? Please say yes if you're excited like me for today. Just take my cup of coffee, make everything really hyggligt. So I'm Nicole, and many people actually call me Nikki as well. So let us begin. Maybe this is not your first time logging into a webinar or trying something to improve your life. Then I just want to let you know I totally understand if it didn't work before for you, if you went to like different meditations or yoga or therapist and you're still kind of looking for the key to happiness. And I just want to let you know it's not you that's a failure here. There's so much information out in this world, and it can be like overwhelming sometimes, can it? It's like, for me, it was like, even if you look up now at the internet, you're like, oh my God, they all saying different things. So don't worry if you feel like you failed in the past. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. And also I want to say that many times the first thing we do if we don't feel good enough or feel broken somehow or lost or depressed or whatever, go to the doctors, and they definitely always give us not the best advice in the world. So let's get into. So I'm just reading my notes here so I don't forget anything. Like I just mentioned or said a little bit that in the environment we grew up in, the people around us, and in general, just the world in general is telling us that we only can be happy if we have the right shoes, the right husband, the right house, and all that stuff. And only when we have that, that makes us happy. And also kind of with the media nowadays and with social media and all those platforms, it's like you almost feel like you do everything wrong, but because everybody else is just living this perfect life and they traveling around the world and baking cakes and all that stuff. And so society, our parents, the teachers, and everything is projecting on a reality to us that's actually not really aligning with who we truly are and who we truly meant to be. So if you ever had like a nagging feeling that something is off in your life, that people are not really supporting your dreams, not really want you to feel better, and always giving you those bad advices, and you cannot really use them for anything, you're probably true in the way you feel, because many of the people we hang out around with don't want us to become better or go after our dreams or feel better, because that means they also have to look at themselves and look themselves in the mirror and see maybe they are not as happy, because we are not much better than the 5 people we surround ourselves with. And if one are starting to want to live differently, healthier, more aligned with the true calling, it kind of you can feel the rejection from your friends saying, no, why would you do that? That never made anybody happy. Or if you change that, it's not. I lost my thought of train here. But yeah, they are not supporting you if you want to get out of what you used to do. Maybe you've been together with your friends for 20 years and you're doing the same thing, and suddenly you want to do something different and don't get the support. So I want to say to you, you're at the right place today, because I'm here to make your dreams come true and make you feel better with yourself and go for whatever passion you have in your life. And even if it's so crazy, you think you want to go and change the world, because you probably do when you think that, then you're at the right webinar and you're at the right place, because that's what I'm helping women with. I help them find who they truly are and then align with their dreams and the life they want to live. Because sometimes the only thing we need is permission to live a dream. Okay. Just take a sip of water. So my goals for this webinar is to help 2 kinds of women. And this has been a hard one, because I think the women I want to help, it's a very special generation, a very special kind of woman who only not wants to do better for herself, but also do better for the world. So I tried to figure out how to call you, and it's actually, the first woman is a change maker, and it's actually just what I described: a woman who has bigger dreams for themselves, wants to live differently that status quo is like offering you right now. And it's actually millennials, it's the change makers, and I didn't know this before I was reading this book, Earth is Calling. And so millennials are actually born from 1981 to 1996. And I'm like, oh, I'm a millennium, not millennial. I always thought it was the youngsters, but this is the women I want to get into this webinar, because we're gonna change the world, and I'm gonna explain you later on why. Because one major thing we feel as millennials, did I say it right? I hope so, is that we don't belong in this world, that we are kind of split in 2, and that is something wrong with us, but it's not. And this is what we're gonna go through in this webinar as well. The second woman is, I'm kind of both. The second woman is the one who had it all, like who already said, I did the education, I did the husband, I have the house, I have the children, and I have the career, but I'm still not happy. What the fuck is wrong with me? And today for you, you will get to know the missing piece and why you're still not happy as well. Let me see. So let me just lift a little bit the blanket. Do you say that? For the secret. The only way to actually change your life is to becoming true to yourself. And how to become true to yourself is by using the freedom journey. I will explain more about that later too. because that is something I created for myself, the freedom journey, because I wanted freedom in my mind, in my life, in my financials, in my relationship. And I wanted to choose how to create my life. And this is why I call it the freedom journey. Because here's the truth. I always believed as soon as I'm losing weight, I'll be happy. As soon as lose a lot of money, as soon as I earn a lot of money, I'll be happy. As soon as I find the right man, I'll be happy. As soon I have something out here that will come into me, I will be happy. Who else here can say yes to that one? Because this is what we grow up with, isn't it? It's like you have to have good grades. You have to do the good education. You have to look good and slim and sexy and all that shit. And nobody actually tells you the truth. That is not what it is about. Because inside, what we really want is actually to be loved, isn't it? It's to feel good enough. It's to matter, to belong, to have a purpose, to just feel good and happy. But how? When I then discovered that the only thing that can make me happy is me, my world changed completely. Because now I was not a prisoner of as soon as I get this. Like, happiness is always here, out here somewhere. It's like I buy this cup and then I'll be happy. But it's not true, because then this is not lasting. The cup is lasting, but the happiness feeling is not. So I discovered if you put away as soon and then just align with yourself and figure out who you are and what makes you happy, then you're golden. I went on a 10-year-long self-healing journey to discover what it means to be happy, to be truly happy, to be truly fulfilled in life. And not only that, I traveled around the world to really get all the tools. At the end, because I could see all my sisters out there and suffering with depression, stress, and burnout. So I just really felt the calling to become a holistic life and happiness coach, so I could get the right tools and questions to dig deep into what is actually missing in our lives, and what is truly making us happy. And this has been an incredible, challenging, but mind-blowing journey, I must say. I'm going to tell about this a bit later too, because first, let me share my story with you. I think I was never really truly happy. And my childhood was definitely challenging. I was not in a safe home in that sense. In the teens, developed an eating disorder and depression for sure. And the whole time it was pointed at me being the one that was wrong or is wrong. I was the one to blame. So of course I went to a psychologist there, and it just didn't help, because they're not really telling you that you have they actually just, back then they still thought you have an eating disorder because you think you're fat, and that's not it. It's like, if you have an eating disorder, it's just a silent scream for help. So that is the first point of the story. And then I kept on having it until actually, I think late, like in my early 20s, everything then also crashed for me. I lost my longtime boyfriend. My parents split up. My dad had a heart attack, and 1 year later or something, went to America, and myself, I had a bad accident. And this is actually where my healing story began. Oh, my healing story. Yeah, why not say it like that? No, that's not where my healing story in that sense began, but that's where I knew something was off, because in that split second before the car crashed into the road, I was thinking, is that it? Am I going to die now? I never really been happy. Oh, one died in the car accident, and afterward, I just felt so completely lost. And of course, I had post-traumatic stress disorder, and I was just in a very, very bad place. And the doctors immediately gave me a lot of pills, and depression pills and sleeping pills, because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle all the feelings inside. I knew that I had to change, and I knew that was something off. Life didn't make sense anymore, because we planning, everything we are is just human doings. We just created to do and not be here. And I didn't want to get into that rat race, but I was so depressed. It was just confusing. So not only did I get depression pills, I got a psychologist, didn't help. Sleeping pills, started drinking too much, starting going around with the bad people, smoking, all the stuff, to one day I crashed. I couldn't hold it up anymore, because I was also still this nice girl and pretending like everything actually looked good in the outside, but I was inside was just a big mess, because nobody actually could help me and tell me what's wrong with me. I felt so broken. And then I woke up one night after another slap in the head in my head from the universe, and she said to me, "You go to Bali, and it's now." And that's what I did. Oh, it's just, and I remember arriving in Bali. I was so exhausted about holding everything up and figuring everything out, and I couldn't anymore. I couldn't just I was just really, really depressed and broken and lost, and a big mess. And then when I came to Bali is where I first figured out this thing about looking at yourself and getting help for yourself. Because when I came to Bali, a new world actually opened up to me. It was like, whoa, so many colors, so much sun, so much beautiful smell, so many nice people, and so many people living differently, so many people thinking differently, so many people healing differently. I didn't know that all this was possible. I came from a small town with a small town mindset, where you just stuff down your feelings and you put on a mask and put in some pills and drink some wine at night to get to sleep. And here I come to Bali, and oh my God. And here my first listener coming, I go to see a guru, to a teacher, because I was not really aware that there was something wrong with me in that sense. I'll come to that later. But I had candida, and I need to get healed by that. And then I went to see this Dr. Bobby, and she was putting needles in me and trying to, I don't know, fix the candida. And I was like, laying there on her table, complaining about my parents, about my life, about the accident, bad boyfriends, all stuff. And she was like, young girl, you completely okay to go or to blame your past, but now you're a grown-up woman, and you have to take responsibility for yourself. I was like, what does she mean like that? I didn't really grab it. And And then I started to understand that we never actually learn to listen to ourselves. To We never ask ourselves what is really um, what really matters to us. Just let me see if okay. So let me just see. So we never stop to ask, what do we want? Who am I? What makes me happy? And this is what the freedom journey is all about. It's taking control over our lives. We believe in, what beliefs do I carry around? And it's holding me back from living my best life. It's about becoming aware of ourselves and our needs. And the same goes for my clients. I have coaching clients now, and it's every time they come in, every time they book a session with me, they come in with a problem that's from the outside. They complain about their boyfriends, their job, or something else. They're missing money, or they want to do this or that. And it all comes down to, again, that they not listen to themselves, that they're not true to themselves. They never learned actually how does that look like. I had one, she wanted to become a yoga teacher. But there was so many things and beliefs in her head that was standing in her way to get there, and to figuring out whose beliefs and whose lives we are living kind of made her, in 2 sessions only, by supporting her and making her not feeling wrong, she booked her teacher training, and off she went a few months later. So that is how incredible important it is to listen to ourselves and figuring out what we want, and then allow ourselves to do it. So in this webinar today, I promised you to tell my number one secret to a happy life, and also about the 4 truths about life. And the 4 truths to a happy and meaningful life is you, passion, Mother Earth, and tribe. And today I'm only gonna talk about you, because this is the most important component in all this. Because, like I said, I had it all. Suddenly, the money, the husband, and the business, and everything I was traveling about. But I was still not happy because I didn't understand that I needed to figuring out all the shit that happened to me in the past, feel it, release it, let it go, figuring out where my beliefs, my fears are coming from, all that I needed to discover before I could truly align with who I am and go for my passion, and really feel the happiness inside. So let's talk about 3 secrets today. And the first one is how to put your needs first without worrying about what people think. So I believe that many of you, I actually wanted to do a drawing about that, but now I'm just going to do my hands. So let's see if there's a triangle, and it looks like the food pyramid, like it's called the pyramid. And up, the first one you have to put is you, and then comes your husband and your boyfriend, your partner, and then your children, and then everybody else. And I believe so much that if you have children, of course, your children are coming first now, then your husband, then your family, and then everybody else. And some along the line, somewhere down there, you. We need to learn to put our needs first, to say, no, I don't want that, to take time out of our calendars, to put ourselves first. I never understand that concept because I grew up where you put everybody else first because you want to be loved and liked, and to do that you put your needs in the end and put everybody else's need first. When somebody's calling you, say yes, I come, and suddenly you just depleted. And the same for some of my clients. They live everybody else's life and not their own. They wanted to fulfill the needs of their parents when it comes to work or the way they live. They just want to make them proud and not themselves proud. So something I learned on my journey also is always make sure you make the child, the younger self, your younger self proud, and the older self version of yourself proud, and not anybody else. You need to stand strong in yourself, need to learn to stand strong in yourself, and you need to learn to say no. So I hope you really understand how important it is to put your needs first. Really stand your ground, understand, but it's all about really feeling in your body when it says yes and no, because we will not get more love or attention from everybody else, because in the end, if we deplete it, we just feel that they are using us instead of actually that we're doing it from a heart space instead of from a need space. And the next secret is how to know what truly makes us happy. It's a hard question, and I never knew it. I had no clue. I was so lost in this. I think we all believe that what makes us happy is what society tells us makes us happy. Again, it's a fast car, it's a good education, it's a lot of money in the bank. It's a lot of new stuff, clothing, like for most of us women, to look good and slim and all that stuff. And yes, I was the same place. I thought that would make me happy. And to really truly figuring out what made me happy, I had to again dive deep into myself and peel off the layers of what everybody else had put into my head, what would make me happy. And it took me a long time to also figuring out what my values are, what I'm good at, and what excites me, because I was just stuffed up with old feelings, old regrets, old fear, and all that. It was like a clutter in the body and in the mind, and to get rid of that, you have to travel deep down to yourself and discover who you really are by writing down, is this my belief, or is it somebody else's belief? Is this truly making me happy, or do I do this to impress somebody? So that is good tools to figuring out if it's something for you, or you're doing it to impress somebody, because most of the time we do. When I built my first jewelry company, the first, I just had one, I was doing it to impress my dad. And not from, it's hard for me to say actually, but it was not, I didn't do it from a heart space. I figured out later, because this what I'm doing now is from the heart. This is something I chose and I love it. So I hope you now kind of make sense that again, we have to dive deep into and take layers off old beliefs to figuring out what truly makes us happy. How to stop letting go. How to stop letting your ego being in the front seat. Yes, it comes down to the same thing again a little bit. It's like the ego is all about, again, old belief sets from society, from school, from your parents, from your church, whatever. And that is how the ego is built up. So in here we have the soul, and we are connected to Mother Earth, to nature, to the universe. And when we're born, we actually also just have fear. We just have two fears: fear of falling and fear of loud noises, and everything else that comes. Everything that comes from when you in the womb until you're 7. all those beliefs, you're actually just a copy machine there. So everything your parents do, everybody else around you do, you suck in and make. It's like the ego sucks it in and creates a persona around that, and to then again really saying to the ego, you're not driving this life because you just don't make me happy with all this old shitty beliefs you have. You have to become aware of your ego. And this is something I, on my freedom journey, understand it very quickly and learn to observe my ego talking. So it's when fear talks and anxiety talks and depression talks, it's all our ego. And to letting go of that, again, we have to understand the core of ourselves. Yeah. I also I had some questions from you guys who went on to the question page before this session. I quickly want to go through some questions there. How can I juggle my time being a mom, having a professional wife, and then time for me? See, again, it comes back to putting yourself first. We're back to the first secret, how to put your needs first without you're worrying about what other people think. So why are we having such a trouble to have? We're so busy, aren't we? We believe that we have to do so many things. It's not okay to sit still. It's not okay to book time for ourselves. And I want to say in this one, I never had a child, or I don't have a child. I don't have family. I just have a boyfriend. But I had a company. And a company can sometimes be like a baby. It always takes your time. And I was not aware of that. And I never took time out for myself, actually sitting down and taking time out, saying this Saturday, 2 hours, I'm just going to read my favorite book, or I'm just going to sit and meditate, or whatever it excites me in life. So when it comes to juggling, why would you juggle something if it's so stressful? Because you're going to do this for the next 40 years. You have to figuring out how can you do less, I will say, and not juggling and trying to press everything in. There's something off. I think that's a good question to ask here, is what is important to me? How to let go of trying to be what I believe is expected of me instead of just be present with who I actually am. We back to the ego. We think we have to be something. And then this is something also, it comes down to, I tried this to always trying to be the nice girl, the good girl, the happy girl, the tough girl, not showing emotion girl. And it's just put on a mask again from the ego side. It's like, why would you impress somebody? You know, because the only thing you have to do is impress yourself, and you have to love yourself. And when you think about what is expected of you, why do you follow these rules when it doesn't align with who you are? If you already asked this question, then you know that you should just, it's easier to say it, but just sit down with a pen and paper and figuring out, why do I believe I have to do it? How do I know what my calling is, and how do I become unstuck? That's a good question again. As soon as you align with your true self, as soon as you peel off the layers, you will know what your calling is. That is the secret to it all. So the core of all of this is, again, how do we become aware of who we truly are? How do we become aware of the world outside of us? How do we don't let other people's opinions, other people's fears get into ours? How can we separate ourselves from our outside world and our ego and just start feel. And it can be very hard because we for so many years just been fed up with stuff from the media, from our parents, that's not truly belong to us. And by going soul searching, by really sitting down and start journaling and asking yourself what is true and what is not true for me, is a good step to starting your healing journey, because the number one secret to a happy life is figuring out who you are, and finding out who you truly are then makes the way for everything else. You will find everything easier because you know when to say no and yes, and you build up confidence. You would know how when to forgive. You would, everything just becomes easier when you know your values, your beliefs, what excites you in life. And I wish that for everybody that we learned this in school and not all the other bullcrap we cannot use for anything. Really going for our sole purpose, for what excites us in life, and just do it and don't think about what everybody else is doing, because it doesn't fucking matter. In the end, we're gonna die anyway. We only have the shot. Maybe somebody believes in afterlife, but it doesn't seem that like people can remember afterlife. So you have this one time in your life to make a change, and don't let it be held back by everybody else's thinking of you, by your own ego, by money, time, society norms, and whatever. Go out there and be a wild girl and be yourself. Create that business that will change the world. Go surfing on the ocean. Go become a yoga teacher. Go become a barista if that's what you want. Don't listen to anybody. Money is not the answer to this question. Money what doesn't make you happy. And yeah, so we already so far in. I wish I could see your questions. Next time I'm gonna do this on Facebook, that's for sure. How many of you feeling a little bit overwhelmed now? Because I covered so much. We talked about so many things, and it can be very confusing to start this healing journey, can it? And so if it's okay with you, I will spend 10 minutes on this bonus I was talking about, because it's all about how you can implement the 4 truths in your life, and how you can find yourself, and how you can uncover who you truly are and go after your passions in this life. So I created, because I needed it myself, a 6-week freedom journey. It's an online course, and in that course, it's like I build everything in step by step, and all the tools and skills you need to understand yourself, find your passion, live a truly exciting life. I put it in there. So the first week, we are going to talk about how to get unstuck and uncover your true self. Next week, we're going over what beliefs and fears are holding you back to live an authentic life that align with your true self again. We dive into tools that help you to become more confident, stand up for yourself, and make sure you put yourself first, sister. And you'll be ready. Week 4, you'll be ready to finding your passion and design your life and that you're excited about. And in week 5, we're gonna figuring out how we can create a more simple and easy life for us without all this stress. And we're gonna discover your values, and it will all align with your values. And then finally in week 6, we put it all together, and I teach you how to set goals and reach your goals. So you start, instead of living everybody else's life, you start living your own life completely, truly aligned with you. yeah. Um, so this online course will again be for women who feel a bit lost in life, don't know really what they're going to do, feel a bit stuck, something like they have the feeling that something is missing in their life. Um, and also for those women who has it all already but still don't feel that they are completely happy. Um, and this online course I put together is so exciting, but this is my first online course and I want to make it absolutely fantastically perfect, but it's still my first course, and this is why I want to ask you if you want to join me on this journey, actually for almost no money, because you're going to be my kind of test group. So normally the course would cost 295 euros, but I will give it to you for 95 euros. 95, I hope I said it right. So almost also 200 euros off the normal price, because you will be my test group, and we're gonna have so much fun. Um, and I learned from the best when I created this, so don't worry about that. When you feel that you want to clear out stuck energy, negative self-talk, sabotaging behaviors, or the feeling of not feeling good enough or being good enough, then this course is for you. And if you want to be able to connect to your true purpose and mission in life, feel better about yourself and the world, confidently take on the challenge that comes your way, attract new opportunities and relationships like a magnet, and become an even stronger positive influencer in the lives of those you care about, then this course is for you. Um, when I figured out all this for myself, I was so confused. It took me, like I said, almost 10 years to figuring all this out, what it actually takes to feel truly happy and align with yourself, and understand yourself and not take everything in. And this is why I created this course as well, because it's an easy step-by-step guide without you having to go out to the world and figuring out for yourself. It's just all in there, packed full of all my good tools in the world. I should have shown you that. I had a little book with me and I wrote everything down, from what depression really is about, healthy food, and all those good stuff. And that is what I'm going to teach you in this awesome course. So this is going to save you from all the pain in the future as well, because you will have not only the 6 weeks I've just talked to you about, but you will also get like a toolbox full, I call it the happiness hack toolbox, where you can just pick up what you just need. If you're like fear of failing or fear of whatever, you can just pick it out and it will be there for you. In this online course as well, I will give you 4 live group coaching calls with me. And you will get new videos every week to teach you and support you and motivate your journey. I will have 6 weeks of support and guidance from me. You will have weekly soul assignments, tools, and clear action steps to bring your life to the next level. Unlimited access to me to answer all your questions inside a private Facebook group. But the best thing of all, you get sisters, accountability partners that can support you on your journey, because like I said, the 4 truths, one of them is tribe, and you want to be around like-minded people. You want to be around sisters who is working the same path as you. That's what I'm missing. When I was on this journey for myself, I felt so lonely. So in the course also you get the happiness toolbox, like I said. You got the money magnet, so you got it because a lot of us women don't know how to invest, and money can be a very important tool to go after those dreams. I'm gonna share that with you, this one as well. And you're gonna get 12 secret to a good life. So there's 2 ways of paying, and I only have like limited seats because I want this beta group, like you call it, to be cozy and hyggelig. and so there will only be a place for 20 women, and you can pay everything at once, the 95 euros, and or you can pay in 2 times, like 2 months. So it will be 50 euros each month for 2 months. Yeah, I hope you want to sign up for this course because it's so much fun. It starts 6th of October, and I cannot wait to start it because this is definitely a lifelong dream to help and support women to find the truth and live it. And because this is the world we live in nowadays, is not suitable for Mother Earth anymore as well. So this is not only about you, sister. This is about creating a life that not only aligns with you but also with Mother Earth, so we don't destroy more of this beautiful place than we already did. You can sign up to the course by just writing me an email after this, because I don't know the one who is looking how the technical part is working or not. So please just to np@nicolepiper.com, send me an email and say, yes, I want to join you on this fabulous journey. And yeah, I wish I could see the questions. Now, sometimes technology doesn't want to be in your favor, does it? I hope you enjoyed this live webinar, and hope to see you another time. So, bye.